guys, this is Momofthreepossible. Thank you all for coming back. Due to popular request, last week I had posted something about the ketogenic diet. And a lot of people asked me, I had posted eggplant fufu, and people wanted to know, what is eggplant fufu? How do you make eggplant fufu? But that was in regards to the ketogenic diet. I will make a video all about the ketogenic diet, but what I'm going to do today is actually cauliflower fufu, which is a pretty similar concept to people who are looking for other lower calorie swallows and other lower calorie fufu, bangkung, and things like that to go with your soups. So, you know, this is not, I'm not talking about ketogenic diet today, but this is for anybody who is looking to eat lower calories, less calories, because as you all know, my last video that I did, and that is going to pop up right now for you, it was about fufu portion control. And that fufu portion control that I showed people, which is the size of my palm and also the thickness of my hand here, that fufu alone is almost 40 to 60 grams of carbohydrates right there, and that is almost 300 calories in that small little bit of fufu. And so if you're looking for a good substitute, something that is much lower in calories, cauliflower is a great vegetable, low in carbohydrates, low in sugar. And after I make this cauliflower fufu, I will make cabbage fufu in my other video, I will make eggplant fufu in my other video. But this is basically the recipe that you will be using for all these vegetable fufu that you'll be making, okay? So what you're going to need is psyllium husk. Psyllium husk is psyllium fiber. It's made out of psyllium husk, which is a very natural fiber. It occurs in nature, very natural, nothing artificial in this fiber supplement. Usually what people use this for is when people are having trouble with constipation or issues going to the bathroom. This is a great way to add fiber, because usually what happens with constipation is people are not eating enough fiber. And if you are a typical rice eater, a typical just plain carbohydrate eater, most times your diet doesn't have enough fiber in it, so you suffer from a lot of constipation. And so this fiber actually helps you add a little more fiber into your diet, makes it easier to go to the bathroom, it makes your digestive system happier, and you can cut down on your calories. You can't beat that, okay? So how do you find this? A lot of people have asked me, how do you find this psyllium fiber? If you live outside of Ghana or outside of Africa, I don't know, maybe South Africa, they have it in their stores. But if you are from somewhere like Ghana, where I'm from, I think there are very specific people that you can buy this from in very specific places. I will put a link down below where you can find that. But if you are in the United States or somewhere outside and you have access to Amazon, I will put the link right down below for you as well. But let's go straight to our cauliflower fufu and our recipe for that. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut up my cauliflower. And while I'm doing this, you all can see the procedure of what I'm doing. So I'll talk about other things while I do this, okay? Because you can't substitute your fufu, because fufu the calories is not also. And I'm saying so nipa bebre share or body obi per slim things and your slim thing na mum na ye healthy. But if you want slim thing na ye healthier, this is a great recipe, a great way to make your fufu from cauliflower. And if you pair it up with some kind of soup that is very low calorie, you will be just fine. In Africa, in some parts of Africa, actually in Ghana as well, there is mangoes, regular African mangoes. If you don't have the psyllium fiber, you don't have access to it. Our regular African mangoes, the seed that is in the middle, in Nigeria they call it ogbono, right? And so if you're from Nigeria, you probably know ogbono. They make it into powders and people can just buy it in the market. In Ghana, if you take the seed out of the mango and you dry it and you blend it into like a powder form, you can use it in place of the psyllium husk or the psyllium fiber if you don't have access to that. Okay, but again, there is a guide and some information that I have right down below that you will find the vendor of this product if you are somewhere in Accra or Ghana. And what you want to do is I'm going to blend this. Just add enough water so you can get your blender going. Maybe I filled it up too much, and I'm going to be quiet because this is going to be loud. All right, so my cauliflower is all blended. And so let's say you're not able to wait for my eggplant fufu or my cabbage fufu. You can follow the same procedure, okay? And once you blend your vegetable, what you want to do is I'm gonna go over to the sink and strain, all right? All right, so what I have here is a very clean, new scarf, okay? Make sure you have a clean, new, and washed scarf. You can use that to strain your cauliflower or cabbage or eggplant. And what I'm doing is I have a bowl under here that is going to catch that water that I'm going to strain out of it. Because if you don't strain the water out of it, it's going to be too soft, and it's going to turn into cocoa. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strain this, and I do it. Cauliflower is very, the consistency is very soft, so it's very easy to get the water out of it. If this was cabbage, you would realize that it is much more work to do that. If this was cabbage, I would probably be struggling a little bit more. Okay, and what they would tapuli. Now what do you mean? We need tapuli. You can just use your hand. It's not that difficult. You just keep squeezing until you feel like most of the water is out of it. Okay. It's quite easy. If you don't have a scarf, you can use something called muslin bag or muslin cloth. I think they sell that in like construction stores, Home Depot and so forth. I will put a link down below that you can order that from Amazon if you need that. Okay, so I'm going to show you the consistency of what it will be. See right here, once you get all the water out, you can tell that it is very nice and fine. Okay, but the reason why we need the psyllium fiber is that if you make this on the fire like fufu, it is not going to be able to bind like we want our fufu to be. Okay, and so I am done with this. I will put it right into the pot that I'm going to make my fufu in, and I will continue the process of just ringing. This is really quick. We usually expect things that are healthy to come easy. Okay, I think we cannot sugarcoat things, and I tell people that a lot. When you are trying to do healthy eating or healthier choices, it's always going to be somewhat harder than your regular way, right? If you were using neat fufu or fufu powder for this one, and one is a woody shit microwave, no we but we no na ye chimu na ye so it takes a little bit more work, but I've been showing you the whole procedure. It's a little more work, but not that much work, right? Not that much work. It is faster than driving to McDonald's. Honestly, for me it is, than putting the kids in the car and going to McDonald's and all that. Plus you get to eat something that you made in your kitchen. You know everything that is going in your food. Okay, and what I do, I don't throw away this. What I will we usually do is save this because this is full of nutrients, full of things that can make you healthy, antioxidants. We need all that. Okay, healthy eating, it's not just it's not about shortcuts. And so I'm not going to throw this away, and I can save this for another time. If I'm making my soup or if I'm making rice, I can use that to cook it. So I'm going to freeze this and I will use it the next time I make my soup. Okay, so I'm going to turn my stove on and we will start our process. I'm just making a little bit to show you guys the cauliflower that you saw in the beginning. I only used about, I'll say maybe a quarter or a quarter to a half of it. Okay, so this is very, very little bit of the cauliflower. And so what I'm doing now is I'm just going to keep stirring. And once it's heated up, I will stir it for about 5 more minutes once it's heated up. And I'm going to actually put this on medium heat, okay, because I don't want it burning. So I'll have that on medium heat. Tell it almost looks like I'm using flour, but it's not. Oh, it's almost like I'm using fufu powder, but it's not. Look at the texture. It's so fine. After you blend it, you can get it to a very fine consistency. And bobo abebian dem. Enyam poto na ye. Unti utumi blend them and ye fine. And it's almost there where it's heated all the way through. While I'm waiting for it to heat through, make sure mo akono nkwan. Me de me ma ne nye wakono, me se wonye bia obedi. But me ma ne nye wo ya. Ahoya enye. Beef wom. Wahwe. Smoked turkey soup. Light soup is my favorite. I love making light soup because of the caloric content. It's basically all free calories because there is not any high carbohydrate vegetable or anything else in here. And kameye no kan kwan meye wie na anwa atai enim ena me pa anwa no asante for say den pa enkwan nani me pa enkwan nani. That way you don't see any grease on it. Okay, healthy eating, no, it's all around. I'm going to give it about another minute or so. It's quite heated through. So once it's all heated through, again, remember you want to keep stirring it for about 5 minutes before we add our psyllium fiber. Na mekaya no Ghana na Nigeria na Africa baby na say unya psyllium fiber. You can find ogbono. Okay, ogbono will do the same thing for you. Ogbono, and if you don't know how to find ogbono, our local African mangoes, the seed that is in the middle, just take it out and dry it, and then blend it to like a powder consistency, and you can use it even if it's like a paste. You can use that instead. But ask the older people at home. They may know where you can find ogbono. Okay, ask them. All right. So at this point, it's all heated through. Gonna wait for the 5 minutes, and I will be right back to add the psyllium husk. All right, guys, it has been 5 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my psyllium fiber. Another point about the psyllium fiber: if you are not on a ketogenic diet and you can have a little bit more carbs and you don't have psyllium fiber, this is just 1 tablespoon of psyllium fiber. If you don't have a measuring cup, just use a regular tablespoon and just add a tablespoon. Okay. If it gets too thick, the good thing is I saved, remember the juice that I strained out of the cauliflower, I saved it so I can put some in here instead of just plain water. It smells good. I mean, you can tell it smells like cauliflower. But when you're eating with soup, especially because we swallow these things, you probably will not know that you're eating something different. Okay, and this is probably just going to be, remember, just because it's cauliflower doesn't mean you should eat a huge amount. You still want to do your portion control with it. And what I was saying about, if you don't have psyllium fiber, you can blend a little bit of oatmeal, about half a cup of oatmeal, and add it to the fufu that you're making for the whole house, okay? So a little oatmeal. If you don't have oatmeal, you can add, even if the regular fufu powder that you have, if that's all you have, use mostly cauliflower and add a little bit of the regular fufu powder, just so it will bind it together for you, okay? And that is way better than using all fufu powder, which is loaded with carbs and calories, okay? So if you have to add a cup of fufu flour while you're doing this to bind it because you don't have the psyllium husk, or you don't know how to find obono, or you don't know where you can find someone who sells, or you don't have access to Amazon, it's okay, it's all about risk reduction. I would rather you add a little bit of dry blended oatmeal or a little bit of your regular fufu powder. Okay, so right now I know I've been doing this for maybe 3 minutes, but I guess I will know. I'm feeling the texture now. I can tell that it is coming together very nicely. It's coming together very nicely. So I am going to get it together and I will show you how my fufu has turned out. So if you make this psyllium fiber, if you make your fufu with it, and I've heard people tell me that they got constipated with it. Man, I'm sweating. If you get constipated, psyllium fiber, every fiber, when you eat a lot of fiber, you need to make sure you're drinking a lot of water. I drink like a gallon of water every day. If you're not drinking a gallon of water, you're probably, unless your doctor tells you otherwise, you're probably drinking too little water. So get a gallon of water and just keep drinking every day until you are out of that gallon of water. If you, I just posted on my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, Momofthreepossible. On Facebook, it's Audrey Nanabima. If you're not drinking a gallon of water, you're not going to the bathroom enough time. So you have all this time in the world to be following people's drama. But if you're drinking a gallon of water, you don't have time for people's drama because you spend a lot of the time in the bathroom peeing. And so that is what keeps me out of drama and out of people's business, okay? So I'm going to serve my fufu and I will show you guys in just a little bit. It is hot in here. All right, so here's my lovely fufu. What I used was I put it in saran wrap. Usually I don't recommend using saran wrap for things that are warm. That is a whole different video because of the research that has shown that the plastic releases chemicals into the food if it is anything hot. So I don't use anything plastic for anything hot, like in the microwave or if I'm warming something up. I would never use plastic. So what I usually would use is parchment paper or baking sheet, right? That kind of paper. But when you use that, it doesn't give it that smooth thing, and I wanted to show you guys what it looks like. And also when you use that, when you take your fufu out of it, what happens is that it does not look really good. Right? And so this is basically how my fufu looks like. It's probably a little bigger than the palm of my hand. Again, I'm going back to my portion control, going back to that. It's probably a little bigger than the palm of my hand. And so I will not be eating all of this, but I just wanted to show you guys kind of how much fufu I have and how close it is to just the palm of my hand. And the thickness of it, I can't pick it up, but you can tell that the thickness of it is no bigger than the side of my hand as well.
So here is how my served fufu looks like.
So I had technical problems, guys. I had shown you guys how I was dishing my fufu and putting my soup on it and all that. Somehow, it didn't record. So, but I'm so impressed with this fufu. I can't even tell that it's not fufu. I can't even tell that it's cauliflower. And because we also swallow fufu, you can tell. And I have my soup with it. It tastes just like fufu, guys. If you don't try this, you are really missing all this good stuff. It's so good. Now, girl, you so girl, you hey, well, I'm already taken. It is so good. It tastes, I can't even tell. Guys, thank you so much. Don't forget, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you know when I make newer videos. And thank you all for tuning in today and for watching. Thank you. Here is my fufu. Thank you so much. It is yummy. And I'll see you later.